Hey, Mr. Peterson. So right now I'm going to make a video explaining on how to graph the function of f of theta equals -3 cosecant 2 theta minus 1. So in order to first really tackle this problem, you really need to know how to graph sine of theta. And so to really know how to do this, you need to understand the unit circle. So to graph sine of theta, basically all you need to do is you find the unit circle and then you plot the values at places like pi over 2, pi, 3 over pi over 2, 2 pi, etc. And then you find the values that y would be. And then you plot those like this and you get a graph that looks relatively like this. Now, the reason you need to know this is because cosecant is equal to 1 over sine. And so the look of the graph of theta equals cosecant of theta would look like a rational function version of this. The graph that would result of f of theta equals cosecant of x would have asymptotes at values where sine of theta is equal to 0 because sine would be on the denominator and 0 can never be in the denominator. So you would have vertical asymptotes at places such as pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2 and etc. And so the resulting graph that would result from f of theta of cosecant of x would be the opposite of this shape of sine of theta, because you would have where the graph goes up, it going down, and where the graph goes down, you see it going up. So over here you would see it curve upwards. This would be f of theta of cosecant of x, and it also would go up over here because there would be an asymptote over here, and it goes down over here. And then over here we would have it go up when it's going down, and then we come it down like this. And then from over here we would see it look something sort of like this. And this is what the graph of f of theta of cosecant of x. And now from this we can find -3 cosecant of 2 theta minus 1, because now that we have the parent function of f of theta of cosecant of x of theta, we can now find this. And so the entirety of this function, now that we know how to draw cosecant of x or cosecant of theta, can actually be quite easy. All you have to do is break it up into chunks. The 2 of theta, the -3 out in front of the cosecant of theta, and then the -1. So the -1 will bring the y-intercept down by 1, or in this case there will be no intercept, and so what will actually happen is it will just shift the whole function down 1. And the -3 will increase the amplitude, so there will be more asymptotes and more lines in a given region within the graph. The 2 of theta. This will cause the actual shape of each line in between each asymptote to actually shrink because of the asymptotes will be getting closer. And so when you actually break it down in all these chunks and you figure out what -3 cosecant of 2 theta of -1 equals, it will actually look something like this. So it's not actually hard to graph any sort of variation of cosecant of theta as long as you know how to graph cosecant of theta. Thank you.